smooth it up and make it feel so nice and soft and touchable. You like that? It's gonna be a good show when we bomb it up. Bombing up the beard for the show. Oh, look, Debbie's here. Hello, Debbie. Looks like our counter is working too. That's fantastic news. Great. Okay, let's give ourselves. Hey, Josh, I like turtles and tattoos. Kelly's here, everyone. Josh, I like turtles and tattoos. Kelly, what's up, buddy? Kevin Lee Sudron. Hello, Jimmy Capote. What's up, Jimmy? Randy Church was over there on the goddamn Tim Black with me, helping me out. Thank you, Randy. Thank you for going over to Tim Black and helping promote Trendy Ass Dabbers. Thank you, thank you. You make me look like people actually watch me, bro, and I appreciate that. Hey, Melissa, Gio. Hey, Karsten. Cool, cool, cool. Just getting some of this beard balm out of my fingers here, putting it in my hair. Why not, right? Why not? A little bit younger, a little bit fresher. Why not? Kirk Dean, what's up, son? Xfinity came over from the Jimmy Dore show. Yes, he did. Hello. Just got a little shout out from Tim Black on his show, which was great. I was under the impression that he was going to be endorsing Trendy Pain Oil on the show. He said on that show, we're going to talk about Trendy Pain Oil on tonight's show. So I'm looking forward to Tim Black tonight, and I will be there, and I hope you guys will all join me in watching Tim Black's show tonight. Every endorsement that I can grab off of anybody that has a following, it's a huge deal for Trendy Pain Oil, and it's a huge deal for the show, for Trendy Ass Dabbers. It's also a big deal for cannabis. It's win, win, win all the way around, So I'm excited and I'm happy. Yay. So my friend Mark just cut down a tree. It was over the back of the solar panels. It had to come down because it was a dead tree. And if it had fallen, it could have fallen and hit in those solar panels, and that would have been bad. So he took the tree down. I got a video. I tried to put it up on the internet. I don't know if it made it up, though. Win, 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 no matter what. Jimmy Capote. Yes, my friend. Let me just see if this video went up. There's no record of it. Where did you get the shirt? Brian Webb from Orlando, Florida. My friend had them made. Brian Webb. He's on Facebook if you want to look him up. Dude, my video didn't go up on Instagram. I am devastated. Okay, whatever. Psh, unreal, pal. Psh, psh. I'm going back to the flowers. Back on the flower gang. Where's the TV show? YouTube, Facebook. Tim Black. It's Tim Black TV. He's on YouTube. Tim Black TV on YouTube. Hard work and research, and you deserve the endorsements you get. Mark Ferrigno. Thank you, buddy. TC Hemby. Hemby. What's up, Hemby? Love that name. Jimmy. Kirk Dean. What time? I don't know what time he does his night show. I don't know what time. He just said tonight. So, maybe I could text him on Twitter and he'll tweet me back. He'll I don't know. He's a busy guy. And what time is tonight's show? Okay. He's pretty good about messaging me back on Twitter. Pretty good. He's a busy guy. His spinning not working yet. What's up? Church Training Facebook. Good. Hosting your channel. Nay. Psh, nobody does that anymore, pal. Psh, unreal. Psh. What is it, a BlackBerry? Psh. Does anybody even use those anymore, buddy? Psh. Unreal, pal. Oh, maybe one day I will be on Ed Bassmaster's podcast. How cool would that be? Oh, I'm sitting there with him, and he'd be like, "So, what do you do on your show exactly? It's Trendy Nay? Is that what they call you?" I'd be like, Psh, "Nobody does nobody does Trendy Nay anymore, pal. Psh, unreal. Psh, what are you talking about? Get out of here. What do you got, a BlackBerry? Would you research that on a BlackBerry, pal? Psh, unreal." I'd just be doing that to him over and over again, and it would never stop. Yeah, everybody gets real. You know, everybody always gets real and shit. I would be just totally fucking not real. Psh, unreal, pal. Psh, unreal. I found out about you on a BlackBerry. It just so sucks. Are you kidding me? Psh, nobody watches you. Uh, Rogan, be nice. You already had your fun with Mark today. I will try to be there, not like I'm so fucking busy on lockdown. Right, and you know what? I know you guys got lives and shit, and I don't expect anybody to ever show up to anything I ever ask you to do ever again. I don't. So when you do, I'll be pleasantly surprised. All right, it is 420. Happy 420, everybody, if you're smoking along. No law regarding cannabis. Cannabisism, tism for all. Sorry about the kennel noises. Oh, Mark's video is on Instagram? YouTube said no connection. YouTube said no connection. Let me look at YouTube. I've got some broadcasting 17 out of 18. It says, but it could be, man. I do things on YouTube that are bad that they don't like. You know, when I play "Turn the Page" by Bob Seger, you know they have a freaking cow over that song. You know, so no, it looks like I am broadcasting to some of my YouTube channels, so we are okay. Um, yeah, we're up and running. We've got viewers on several of them, so we're good. Are we good? We're good. You guys hear my song I wrote today? To the sounds of Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla. The song is called Corona. It goes, with a purposeful grimace and a terrible smell, he lies to people to cover his ass. Helpless people on subway trains scream bug-eyed as everyone dons their mask. I like the use of the word don there. He steps up to the podium with his friends grouped close together like a bunch of clowns. Oh no, he says we handle this. Go, go, Corona. Woo. Oh no, Easter will be bliss. Go, go, Corona. Woo. Oh no, he claims it came from Tokyo. Go, go, Corona. Woo. I gotta fix that. It says Godzilla there still. Oh no, there goes Ohio. Go, go, Corona. Woo. You guys like my song? I wrote that in today's show. So the end of the song is history. History shows again and again how nature points out the folly of man. Corona, Rona, Rona, Rona. I love that fucking song, Godzilla. Great song. And now I can finally play almost all the guitar soloing on it. It's so funny. This is a crazy thing, okay? I spend years trying to play stuff that I hear, you know, and I realize I don't have the expertise to achieve it. I could get close and kind of do something similar, but to play the notes, note for note, just like it's being played on these albums, every bend and every perfect note, I've always had a problem, you know. I'm not doing it perfectly. I can't hit every note. I don't even know what that fucking note was, right? Not anymore, man. I'm going back to songs that I've played for years, and I've been playing them wrong all along. And I'm like, okay, right, this is how the solo goes. And I start playing it, and I'm playing every fucking note. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I can fucking play it. I could never do that before. And I've reached that point with my guitar playing now where I could play a lot of the things that I wasn't able to do before. And as I revisit some of those songs, it's an exciting moment for me to actually finally be able to play those solos, you know, or just some of the notes. And on Facebook on your phone, Joseph Porras, right on. Thank you for the extra view, buddy. Cody Stockton, have you seen the Book of Eli? Yes, I've seen that movie. Uh-huh. Yo.
I'm ready to move your internet antenna cable. I think your antenna. But I want to know if I can do it without interrupting.
No, I'm not using it.
Okay. And since I move it, I'm going to ask you to try it out and see if the reception is good. Oh, Jesus, Logan. Okay.
All right.
Stay in there.
High fly tree guy. Fucking hey, I put you on Instagram today, climbing that tree. You know, you climbed it, you just climb right up it.
Yeah.
I put that shit on Instagram. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
See how gentle I felt that thing?
Yeah, it went down so slow. It was like slow motion. And you're like right there, you're like walking. It's like a ballet.
Yeah.
It's like a ballet when he dropped that tree. I was petrified. I wouldn't go in it. He needed a little help. I'm like, fuck you. I ain't going anywhere near that fucking tree. Just Joe Rogan was just talking about somebody got his face taken off by one the other day. You know, and I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Fuck that shit. Sorry. I helped a little bit, but I got the fuck away. He's like, I just need you to pull the rope. Oh, you mean the rope that's pulling the tree towards it? No thanks. No thank you. This is all wrong. He's like, it's not going towards the rope. It's because it's going to go that way. I'm like, I believe you. No. No. My life is worth too much. I'm not going to stand by that fucking tree when it comes down. It's probably a 40-foot tall tree. Yeah, it's probably a 40-footer. You know, not that big. Maybe about that big around at the base. But it's hardwood. It's a Douglas fir. So the fact that there's 40 feet of that, oh yeah, that fucker will rip right through you like a laser beam, you know? But he brought that thing down, and I swear, he brought it down so slow. Like this. That's how slow it went down. I'm not like doing a slow motion imitation of how slow the tree came down. That's how slow he brought the tree down. It was so slow and so safe. I felt like such a pussy after the... Because I was standing like 200 feet away. But, you know, I ain't no fucking badass like he is. Yeah, Joseph, that's a good question. Is it smoke time? I believe it is. Bottom of the hour. Yes. You guys see how Joseph does that? It's very manipulative, and I love it. Manipulate me. Yes. Don't tell me what to do. Ask a question. That's how you manipulate me. You know, my mom says you get so much further in life with sugar than salt. Ask a question. Be nice. Yeah, fucking manipulative motherfucker, Joseph. I love it. Kindness will get you everywhere. All right, so shall we? I can't wait for Tim Black's show tonight. I have no idea. Do you know I sent him a 2X hoodie and he said it wouldn't fit? Yeah, I swear that's what he told me to send. So I'm like, well, I'll send you another one and just tell me 3X or 4X. You know, I'm sending it. I'll send him a 3X and a 4X. I don't give a fuck if he's going to wear it on the show. Oh, caterpillars, Luke, that is tough, bro. Caterpillars are one of the toughest pests to deal with. Go in there by hand and pick them off by hand. That's all I can tell you to do, bro. Go in there and pick those fuckers off by hand. Luke, I'm sure that's what you're already doing, right? God damn, brother. You know, they are one of the hardest things to fucking deal with on cannabis. They really are hard to deal with. If anybody has any caterpillar killing advice that they want to offer up on this live stream, I'd love to hear it. It's a big problem. A lot of people have that problem. Yo, Iceman, cheers, son. Iceman's here. Cheers. Get him. Get him by hand, man. Bud, why? Zrr. Keeps the caterpillars aware. They like to get drunk and be aware. Check out my friend Mark up there climbing. That tree by hand. He's about Huh. Feet. It's really bad reception, I guess. He climbed up it by hand. He's just got gloves on. Huh. Weird. Just won't play the fire. Hey, what am I thinking? 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 I got the fucking video on my goddamn phone. Are you kidding me? The video's right here. What am I thinking? Oh, hit play video, dumbass.
Check out my friend Mark up there climbing that tree by hand. He's about 15 feet up it. He climbed up it by hand. He's just got gloves on and boots. He just climbed that thing by hand so he can go wrap a strap around and pull it down. Make sure it doesn't hit the solar panels when he takes it down. It's a dead Douglas fir tree. It must have hit the root when they were putting in the solar panels. You can see that tree just died. But look at this crazy motherfucker.
Look at this crazy. Look at this crazy motherfucker.
He doesn't get enough credit for the shit he does. You know, he doesn't realize that I know that he's here right now. You know, he hasn't
Tell me how your reception is?
start working.
It's gonna be fine wherever you put it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it is.
Oh, he's already climbing down. There he goes. He's already off. He already climbed down that tree. That quick. Alright, there you go. He's gonna pull that bad boy down, man. That's what crazy shit. Right on, man. Oh, he's already climbing down. There he goes. He's already off. He already climbed down that tree. That quick.
Do I have to play a video game to make you happy? What if I just smoke cannabis and we get really high and I blow smoke rings? Would that be better than Call of Duty? What about... I'm thinking of all the stupid shit I could do to entertain you right now. What if I just show you an assault rifle? Would that be okay? Does it have to be COD, or can we just sit here and... Hell yeah, smoke rings over COD. You smoke cannabis when you play Call of Duty? Gangsta man, dog, bro man? Okay, gangsta man, dog, bro man. I really like your name. It's almost as if that name was designed to please me. Kudos to you, good sir. Yes, I have a pit bull, and his name is Rogan. Bing, Rogan! Rogan, he's a good boy. Rogan, he's a good boy. Got big ears on that Rogan. Oh, look at that Rogan. He got some big ears on that head of his. Oh, my God. That's a little big dog. Look at the dog. Oh, big old doggy with them big old ears. Look at the big old ears on that big old dog. Bo doggy. Bo doggy. Let's get high. What do you guys say? You want to get high? You want to get high? Assault rifles are bad? No, assault rifles are good. Glocks are good. Assault rifles are good. Remember that. Remember that. Assault rifles are good. It's not really an assault rifle. It's just a rifle. All rifles assault you. All guns assault you. My back scratcher, known as Mistress, will assault you if I slap you across the face with it or gouge your eyes out. Assault back scratcher. You know, it's the fucking dumbest name, assault. It's a gun. It's meant to kill you. Of course it's an assault weapon. Every weapon is an assault weapon. My pocket knife is an assault weapon. If I open this up and I show you the blade and I lock it in place and I lunge at you with it, I'm assaulting you with a weapon. That makes it an assault weapon. Stupid name. It's like calling water wet. Or calling cannabis medical. Of course it's an assault weapon. No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't business for all. Cheers, everybody. Blah, 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 blah. I'm smoking with who? I forgot. Ice? Who? Ice Man. Yo, who? What? Sit down. Shut up. You're very good. Yo. You're very good. Yo. You're very good. Shut up. Because I need to tell you, you're very good. Shut up. You've got this one too? $1, right? Right, Kirk? $1 at the flea market. I got two of these. One's mistress and the other one is girlfriend. This one's mistress, so I don't know where girlfriend is. I lost girlfriend. Yo, girlfriend, where you at? I've been looking all around for girlfriend. I don't know what the fuck. Girlfriend probably fell behind the goddamn. I don't know. Cheers, everybody. These smoke rings are for the new guy, the COD guy. These are for you, bro. The dude with the cool name. Wonder if I can get Mark to put that wall up. All right, will you stay with him? Will you stay with him? Hey. Will you put that wall up for me in the greenhouse? Good, because if you do that, I can put my plants out there. I want you to finish the wall if you can, though. Yeah, and yeah, that's beautiful, bro. Dude, finish what you're doing. Okay, cool. And you think he'll stick with you while you're doing that? Okay. Look at him. Look at him. He's like, nah. Rogan. Rogan. Rogan, look at me. You can't. Look, he's going to go running off again. So, come on, Rogan, what you got? All right, just bring him back if he starts wandering. He's out of water. My dog is out of water. All right. Gangsta Man Dog Bro Man. I fucking love that name. Fuck you. Fuck you. I love it. Choosing, okay, truth. Kayla. Oh, I love I have the Mr. Okay, cool. So we're all caught up. Waiting to hear back about a job at a Cincinnati hospital. Chef Josh. 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 That last one, bro, is the Chef Josh. Is the fucking bomb. You better use that if you do like a goddamn cooking show. I want to be your goddamn announcer. And now, everyone, presented by Trendy As Dabbas, we bring you Chef Josh. Oh, crack me up! Judge, I'm hired! And you're hired! And you are hired, my friend! And you, my friend, you're very good. Shut up. You. You're very good, my friend. You. You. You, my friend. You. You. Rogan! Look at Rogan's fucking running around. He's so fucking cute, man. That dog is so fucking cute. Oh my god. I watched him chase Mark around on the fucking video cameras. Oh my god, it is the cutest fucking thing. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. And just get a cuteness. Sometimes I get a cuteness overload from Rogan. Do you guys remember that lady? It was a put on. It wasn't real, but she was an actress, you know, and she did this one little video on the internet where she said she loved cats. And then I did my take on her video on my YouTube channel. And she's like, she starts telling you about how much she loves cats and they're just so cute. And she just wants to put a whole bunch of little kittens in a basket and carry them around and pet them. And she starts fucking crying. And it is so fucking perfect and funny. Have you guys seen that? It's an old video from the internet. Like, that video is probably, 8 years old, something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about? If we Google it, hey Google, video of woman who loves cats and starts crying.
Your phone has no data connection, so I can't help you with that at the moment.
Hey Google, video of woman who loves cats and starts crying.
Got it, but your phone needs to be unlocked for that.
Oh, shut up. Google. Hey Google. Okay, Google. Video of woman who loves cats and starts crying.
Playing woman who loves cats starts crying videos on YouTube.
Oh my god, this is it! Fucking ads.
I am a recent MBA grad from Villanova. I love cats. I just, sorry, I'm getting emotional. I love cats. I love every kind of cat. Sorry, I really love cats. And I just want to hug all of them, but I can't, because that's crazy. I can't hug every cat. But I just want to. I want to. I'm sorry. I get, anytime I hear cat, I love cats. Ooh, promised myself I wouldn't cry. So anyway, I am a cat lover, and I love to run. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about cats again. I think about how many don't have a home, and how I should have them.
And how I should have them. That's great. And their nose, and their ears, and their whiskers. That's me. That's me. That's me with freaking Rogan, man. When I watch my dog, man, I get like this emotional overload. I'm like her. No, that's all. She's just an actress, man. It's a fucking. She's promoting herself, and she did a really good job of it. No, she's not crazy, guys. She's an actress. That was all put on. She put that on eHarmony as a fucking joke. And she fucking nailed it. You know? That's why it's on YouTube. No. She's not for real. She's got to be famous by now, bro, you know? I'm sure you can check her out and see what she does. She's probably in all kinds of weird shit. Who knows? She's probably in movies and shit, you know? Probably got her own fucking podcast. You know, that's what everybody does now, right? You know, Tim Black was saying, I would love to see Tim Black on Joe Rogan, but you know what Tim Black was saying about Joe Rogan? He's like, what's so great about Joe Rogan? He just sits there and has really good guests on and has conversations with them. I was thinking, yeah, man, that's why I watch. That's exactly why I watch, because it's not bullshit. We're just going to sit and chat. You know, it's not an agenda. And I love that. We're just going to sit and let that person explain their fucking thing. Whatever it is they want to talk about. It's great, man. I love watching Rogan. And Tim Black, I don't know if he really gets it, but I could watch every single Rogan episode. The thing is, you might hate the person that he's interviewing. You might hate what they're about, or just be completely not interested because they are not interesting or whatever. But I promise you this: you'll get something out of every single show. I promise you that. You will. It's amazing. I always do. You know, I get a lot out of everyone. You know, I mean, it's just. I've learned that even if I don't know who it is or what it's about, I mean, because sometimes they'll have someone on there and they just want to talk about themselves and they're really narcissistic and they just drone on and on and on and on and on about things. And sometimes he's supportive of that or whatever. Those ones I have a hard time listening to. I like the back and forth. I like the equality. You know, they're on there to talk for a little bit, and I understand that. But I like when someone doesn't dominate, you know, their time on there. And he gives plenty of time to just sit and relax and have a conversation, you know. both loud. Man, there's only people on one of my YouTube channels right now. One of my YouTube says sending data. That's not good. God. Rogan's still chasing him around up there. It's so funny. Rogan's so fucking cute, man. Oh my god. He's having so much fun. Do you like any other cannabis or grower channels? I like Urban Remo a lot. And I don't really watch too many other channels out there, you know. But Remo's, I always check his shit out. Oh, I watch Paul Token too. Token Daily. Yeah. He's so scared to come in the house. Got to do it with cookies in, right?
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd Rogan go? Where'd Rogan go? Where'd Rogan go? Where'd Rogan? Rogan! Come on! Come! Come on, Rogan! I'm gonna go get him now and see the wall.
He caught that. That was awesome. You're gonna do it wall for me. I know it's nice. It looks great. Thanks,
No more
buddy.
wire in your
No more cable. I know. Brody buried it. It's awesome. Beautiful. Look at the rain coming down. Yeah. It's fucking great. So he just. I've had this antenna for my cell phone, you know, booster here, and he just buried the cable underground. It's been above ground forever. It's always been in the way, and he just fucking buried. I didn't even ask him to do it. He just fucking buried it for me. Yeah, I heard he went into the ICU. Boris. Hope he does all right. Did you guys hear about that woman? She's a very avid Trump supporter. You guys all know what I'm going to say, don't you? Who knows what I'm going to say? Do I have to finish the story? Somebody finish the story for me. I mean, just guess if you don't know. Oh, the Grow Boss Live. I've never heard of that. Okay, Chef Josh, thanks. Now I know why you don't come to my Saturday and Sunday shows, Chef Josh. I know you'll come to my shows if I do your intro, though. I bet you Grow Boss Live doesn't do your intro like I do. Does he, Chef? I bet you he doesn't do your intro like I do. With the hands and everything. Haven't been on here in about 10 years. ARC, what's up, son? You haven't been on here, and boom. Trendy As Dabbers. Here we are. I'm a mod. No, I get no intro. You get no intro. I'll make you a fucking mod, bitch. You're on my main channel on YouTube. I'll make you a mod right now. Fuck that shit. You want your ranch, bitch? You want your ranch, bitch? I'm assuming you're on my main channel, but... Oh, dude, Trump's doing another fucking coronavirus update. We should probably watch that, huh? Assuming you're on my main channel, but... Here, David Packman is covering it, I guess.
Therapeutics. I mean, look, the vaccines are going to.
Oh, he's talking.
Later because of
Godzilla's talking, everybody.
Therapeutics, getting the kind of things that I heard about today, talking to these brilliant companies and brilliant people on the phone was fantastic. It was such an incredible conversation.
Fantastic.
And I also spoke just a few minutes ago with former Vice President Biden.
Really?
Called, and we had a really wonderful, warm conversation. It was a
You're
very
hearing
nice
David
conversation.
Packman in
We
the
talked
background.
about,
This is his
pretty much
broadcast.
This is what we talked about. This is what everyone's talking about. This is what they want to talk about. And he gave me his point of view, and I fully understood that. And we just had a very friendly conversation.
Wow.
Lasted probably 15 minutes. And it was really good. It was really good. Really nice. I think it was very nice. So I appreciate his calling.
Okay.
As we continue our efforts to develop treatments and cures this afternoon, I spoke with leaders of the American pharmaceutical companies, and just to give you their names, Amgen, Genentech,
We don't want their name.
Gilead,
What a dick.
Regeneron.
It's a free ad.
These are four of the greatest in the world for
Free advertisement.
doing exactly what they're doing. And
That's bullshit.
currently 10 different therapeutic agents are in active trials, and some are looking incredibly successful, but we have to go through a process. And it's going to be a fairly quick process, I will tell you, based on what the FDA told me. And another 15 are in plans for clinical trials. So they're advancing rapidly. And today, a second company announced that the FDA has authorized its vaccine candidate to begin clinical trials. So you have Johnson & Johnson is already there. I believe they're the one that's first. And now we have a second company that just announced, and was just approved.
Yes, Mr.
So we
President.
have
Yes.
two companies at that level for the vaccine itself. We've now performed 100, well, if you think of this, 1.79 million tests. That's
Million.
1,790,000 tests nationwide. And I think we're gonna put up a screen here someplace, but they're on cue. They're just on cue. And here it is. This is the process starting on 5 March and ending right there, right about now, right? That's about it. So, and it's going up at a rapid rate. Nobody has done more testing. And one of the reasons why
There it
they
is.
say, and I think I can say this, Deborah, very strongly, but one of the reasons that we have more cases is we've done more testing. If I went to some of these countries that have, in my opinion, far more people than we do that have the problem, and if we did the kind of testing proportionally that we're doing, they'd have many more cases than us.
Yeah, it's all a reality
But we
show.
have
You're
more
right.
cases because we
You're
do
right,
much more
Patrick.
testing. So when you do the testing, you have cases. Otherwise, you wouldn't know about the.
Fact check, we were 39th in testing per capita globally.
We have now done 1,790,000 tests nationwide. That's more than any other country in the world. Hence, we have more cases. And that number is growing by nearly 125,000 people per day. Think of that one. So it's growing by 125,000 people per day. I told you about South Korea. This is a, vastly faster. And we also have, they say, the most accurate of tests.
Right. Best and
CBS
most
is
best.
launching, and they've been great. 2 new drive-through testing sites in Atlanta, Georgia, and Providence, Rhode Island. And each location will be able to test up to 1,000 patients per day using the ultra-fast 5-minute test developed by Abbott Labs. Now they're down to 5 minutes. They go the ultra-fast, and it's very accurate. Abbott Labs, I want to thank.
That's not even true. It's not down to 5 minutes. It's that it's 5 minutes versus 15 for a yes versus no, or a no versus yes, something like that. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
As of today, tens of thousands of small businesses have applied for more than $40 billion in relief under the Paycheck Protection Program. You've all been
Applied.
reading about it, and it's really, I mean, it's only been going for a couple of days. It's really been performing well.
Applied.
A couple of little glitches, minor glitches that have already been taken care of.
Like no
They
one has
say
gotten money.
These funds will result in nearly 2 million jobs being preserved, so we're taking care of our workers.
Right.
Small businesses and our workers. Nearly 3,000 lenders have already made loans under the program, and we're signing up additional lenders very quickly, rapidly.
Not true.
Community banks have been very responsive, and larger banks are also stepping up. If we run out of funds, by the way, we're already preparing because it's going so fast for the small businesses and their employees. We'll ask Congress to refill it immediately. But the banks have been great. The big banks, the Bank of America was right up there at the beginning. JP Morgan Chase has been.
Yeah, I spoke to Bank of America. They said you need to have both a deposit and lending relationship with them as of February 15th. Trump hasn't mentioned that.
As we announced last week, we are providing $100 billion in direct support for our hospitals. And the first tranche, $30 billion, will be distributed this week. So I want to say one other thing. Our farmers, we love our farmers. And as you know, as of April 1st, the China trade deal, $250 billion.
There's China.
They purchased $250 billion from us, if not more.
Billion.
Of that, approximately $50 billion is expected to be with our farmers. So it kicked in as of April 1st, and we'll see how it goes. It seems like they're buying, so we'll let you know how that's going. But they're buying anywhere from $40 to $50 billion worth of our agricultural product. That should have a huge impact on our farmers, a tremendous impact on our farmers, but we're watching it very closely. To fight the medical war, we've mobilized the unbeatable, and it is unbeatable strength of American determination, ingenuity, and compassion. I got to see that when I spoke to the great science, because I call them science companies more than drug companies, scientists.
Yeah, you would.
We've seen businesses, charities, and private citizens making generous donations. So many people are making donations. We've seen states and cities supporting and helping each other and caring for our citizens. And we've seen Americans of all backgrounds and beliefs uniting together to answer the challenge and rise to the moment, and that's what they're doing. Above all, we've been awed and inspired by the exceptional courage of the doctors, nurses, EMTs, and healthcare workers who are the soldiers of this war. No words can ever express the complete measure of our gratitude for these intrepid heroes.
Really has a way with words.
One Cleveland patient credited his medical team for not only saving his life through their skill, but forever changing his life through their example of selfless devotion. Couldn't believe it, so generous he was with his statements. And he talked about their bravery in an area that was in such trouble, an area of that hospital where people were dying, and he talked about their bravery. Another survivor in Houston said simply, "I will consider them my angels forever. I will consider them," think of that, "my angels forever." As our nation endures the depths of loss and grief, we are also witness to the summit of American virtue, character, and courage. With the love and dedication of every
Kayla, no. All right, you're just making shit up. Don't make shit up. Trendies hate that shit.
with new strength, unity, and resolve. And that's what's happening. Tremendous stories are coming out of this horrible moment,
There he did it.
very dark moment
Horrible
for the
movie.
world. 182. I was saying 151 for a while, and then it got up to 160, and it's 182, as I announced yesterday. 182 countries
His friend didn't even know
being
about those
attacked
countries.
by this virus. So I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank the American citizens for doing a great job. Stay inside, and let's win this, and let's get our country open as soon as we can. I think it's going to be sooner
Easter.
than people think.
Easter.
Things are going really
Easter.
well. Again, light at the end of the tunnel.
Things are
Most
going.
of the
With that,
deaths
I'll
have
take
been
Things are
happening.
going really well. He says
Mike
we're
is
doing
gonna take over
125,000 cases
and,
a day.
Talk with the Admiral and with the
That's fucking
professionals.
crazy. Are we doing
and we
125,000
appreciate you being
cases a
here.
day
Yes,
now? It's
please.
fucking crazy.
You mentioned that you were asking U.S. drug companies to provide treatment to the British Prime Minister. What sort of treatment is that? Is that something that's available?
Well,
to
it's a
American
very, yeah, it's a very complex treatment of things that they've just recently developed and that they have a lot of experience with having to do with something else, like recent for this.
This guy.
And they'll be, they've already concurred, they've already had meetings with the doctors, and we'll see whether or not they want to go that route. But when you're in intensive care, it's a big deal, so.
Trump's
they're
sending
there
treatment to
and
Boris.
they're ready. I think we have 3 of them. I spoke with 4, you know, who the 4 would be. And.
For what?
You know, the people within those, you know the companies, I told you the companies, but the people are the greatest.
Oh my God.
Greatest in the world, so they're at the hospital, and
Which
we'll see,
hospital?
and they have everything with them, should it be needed. Hopefully it won't have to be
Everything
needed,
with
but should it be needed. I found Boris to be a fantastic person, just like a fantastic, warm, strong, smart guy. He loves his country.
Right.
You see that? I mean, he fought like hell for his country. And intensive care is big stuff, really big stuff.
Yesterday you were asked about this as well, but now that you've been moved to intensive care, does that give you and the Vice President any pause or additional concerns, steps that you're taking to preserve the continuity of government here?
No, I don't think so. Mike had his test a couple of days ago. I had my test a couple of days ago. So, and we're here, and here you are.
He doesn't really seem to
So,
get
no, I
it.
don't think so. But I think we'll probably,
It's like he thinks that he had a test, so now he can't get it or something.
test. It's not the worst idea. You know, the system of testing now is so quick and so easy.
Obviously, the idea is they should not be together, so they don't both get it.
You sure you're okay? I'm okay. But then I'm saying,
Despite the nearly 1.8 million tests that you say the United States has done, the Inspector
Uh-oh.
General for the Department of Health and Human Services released a report today, a survey of
Uh-oh.
more than 300 hospitals across the country. And the number one complaint from those hospitals were severe shortages of testing supplies and a
Well, it's
really
just
long
wrong.
wait time. I mean,
it's
a
just
week
wrong.
or longer.
Did I hear the word Inspector General? Really? It's wrong. And they'll talk to you about it. It's wrong.
He fired
From
that guy.
government.
Well, where did he come from, the Inspector General? What's his name?
It came from the Inspector
No,
General
what's his name?
report. I
What's his
don't
name?
know his name
Well,
off the top
find
of
me
my
his name,
head.
let me know, okay? If you
But-
find me his name, I'd appreciate it.
But sir, these are hospitals
All I can tell
that
you
do
is
not-
this, we
sir,
put up on the board, you're gonna ask the Admiral, but
these
we are doing,
hospitals who say that they're waiting a week or longer
Fine.
to get their
Let's speak to
test
the Admiral.
results. Why
but
is
we've
this
done more
taking so
testing
long?
and had more results than any country, anywhere in the world. They're doing an incredible job.
Wow.
Now they're all calling us, they want our testing.
I'm waiting
What
for
we
Are You
doing?
Ready?
How do you do the 5-minute test? How do you do the 15-minute test?
The
So,
same test.
Give me the name of the Inspector General. Could politics be entered into that? Go ahead,
This is
please.
our,
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Are you worried about retaliation to your decision to ban export of medical goods, like Indian Prime Minister Modi's decision to not export hydroxychloroquine to the United States and other countries?
I don't like that decision. If that's, I didn't hear that that was his decision. I know that he stopped it for other countries. I spoke to him yesterday. We had a very good talk, and we'll see whether or not that's his. I would be surprised if he would, you know, because India does very well with the United States. For many years, they've been taking advantage of the United States on trade.
Right.
So I would be surprised if that were his decision. He'd have to tell me that. I spoke.
Jiggles, you gonna stop talking shit on my live stream? If you stop talking shit, I'll unblock you. You fucking prick.
To come out, that would be okay, but of course, there may be retaliation. Why wouldn't there be? Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Paycheck Protection Program has gotten off to a confusing start for small business.
I guess you didn't. I guess you didn't have unblockable status, huh?
Bank of America
Not
initially
anymore, they haven't.
prioritized taking applications from clients that were already
Bank of
borrowers.
America's
So-
been the leader, taking tremendous numbers of
He
applications.
has no clue what's going
And
on.
of course, there may have been, they wanted to have a slightly
Notice there
different
hasn't been a
application, they
question
wanted to
yet.
have a little different information. But Bank of America has been a leader, they're number one in terms of applications. I wish you'd ask the question differently. Why do you
Patrick.
say it's gotten off to a tremendous
She
start?
didn't get to the question.
But
Aren't your
there were
pants-
some little glitches, which by
aren't
the
your
way have
pants
been
supposed
worked
to
out.
catch on
It would be so
fire?
much nicer if you do that. but you're just incapable of asking a question
So what
in a
oversight
positive
measures
way.
is the federal government
It's
putting
already
in
done,
place
it's already
to
done.
ensure that there is
It's taken the
fairness?
measures. It's taken the measures.
It's shocking.
And we may even do a different system, not
Wow.
with this,
Such an
we're gonna
idiot.
have to
He's such an
probably
idiot.
add more money to this to save
We know.
and to keep our small businesses going and to keep the employees of those small.
I'm gonna improve the graphics. We got to see his face more clear. He's such an idiot. God, you guys hear David Pakman? All the shit Dave Pakman's saying. I got a lot to say too. Hopefully it'll load here in a second. I just put it up to 480. But I'm having bandwidth issues too. Close the dashboard and see if that helps. Kirk Dean's prepared. Patrick Baker, asbestos suit. I guess I'll refresh that page. See if we can bring it back.
Yeah, because you know what? You have two good people and they're arguing. And I'm good, believe it or not, at settling arguments. I'm good at settling these arguments. So I may look into it in detail, and I'll be able to figure it out very fast. But that was a statement. It's a rough statement, but look, letters should not have been sent to many people, unclassified. That was a mistake. It's a mistake that shouldn't have been made because it's unfair to the families of the people on the ship because they get nervous, and it shows weakness. And there's nothing weak about us now, not anymore. We have the strongest military we've ever had, and we're not going to be showing weakness to anybody because that ship is incredible, nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, and we don't want to be doing
Not
writing
incredible
letters.
when a virus is sweeping through
writing
it.
campaigns where the fake news finds a letter or gets a leak. We don't want that.
There's fake
So
news.
the letter shouldn't have been sent. With all of that said, his career prior to that was very good. So I'm gonna get involved and see exactly what's going on there, because I don't wanna destroy somebody for having a bad day. Okay, does that make sense? Okay.
Mr. President, Vice President Biden's spokesperson said that he made some suggestions to you about actions that you could be taking to
He
deal
did.
with the
We
pandemic.
did. We had a very good talk. We agreed that we weren't gonna talk about what we said, but we had a very, very good talk. It was a warm talk. I enjoyed it. I hope he enjoyed it too, and it was short. It was 15 minutes.
Do you have good suggestions, anything that you're gonna do?
Well, he had suggestions. It doesn't mean that I agree with those suggestions, but certainly he had suggestions. I also told him some of the things we're doing, but the conversation was a friendly, very friendly conversation. Yeah, please.
Thanks a lot, Mr. President. You've mentioned, other members of your task force have mentioned, over the course of the next 2 weeks, it's going to be a very difficult time for our country in terms of fatalities. And
It will be a difficult week and a half.
And there are a number of governors who are close allies of yours, Mr. President, who have refrained thus far to have these stay-at-home orders. And Dr. Fauci, who of course is on your task force, has said that the states that don't have stay-at-home orders are putting themselves at risk and the country.
Well, if Dr. Fauci said that, I would be inclined to call them up. You know, we do have a
He said it a bunch of
constitutional
times.
problem in doing that. You understand that?
If
I mean,
he
there's
said
a
that.
there's a double-edged sword. You understand? I can do it, but it is a constitutional.
Recommending has no constitutional issue.
To different reasons, where I would rather have the governors do it, make their own determination. They're smaller, and not in all cases, but sort of they're smaller cases, but I'm not sure 100% that Dr. Fauci said that, but you can ask him. Tony, you wanna say something?
Yeah, let's get Tony up there.
I had good conversations with the governor of Nebraska and the governor of Iowa here, and it's interesting that functionally, even though they have not given a strict stay-at-home, what they are doing is really functionally equivalent to that. And we had a really good conversation with both of the governors, when I had mentioned that, I think there was a public response that they weren't really doing anything at all, and they really are doing a very good job, both of them. Those are the only two that I spoke to, but it was a really good conversation, and I wanna make sure people understand that just
Keep asking
because
him questions,
they don't have a
please.
very strict stay-at-home order, they
guy
have
has
in
the
place
weirdest
a lot of
grin on
things
his
that are
face.
totally
He's like-
compatible with what everyone else is doing.
If I could ask a question, Dr. Fauci, before you
Go ahead.
about getting back to normal, you said you wanted to get back to normal as soon as possible. Will we truly get back to normal in this country before there's an actual vaccine that's available to everybody? How do you start lifting the restrictions?
Yeah, well, John, if back to normal means acting like there never was a coronavirus problem, I don't think that's gonna happen until we do have a situation where you can completely protect the population.
Wow.
But when we say getting back to normal, we mean something very different from what we're going through right now. Because right now, we are in a very intense mitigation. When we get back to normal, we will go back gradually to the point where we can function as a society. But you're absolutely right. I mean, if you want to get to pre-corona virus, you know, that might not ever happen in the sense of the fact that the threat is there. But I believe with the therapies that will be coming online, and with the fact that I feel confident that over a period of time, we will get a good vaccine, that we will never have to get back to where we are right back now. So if that means getting back to normal, then we'll get back to normal.
I think that with the therapies, and I think that with the vaccines, which I have total confidence are coming.
I'd rather hear from Fauci the whole time.
The Johnson & Johnson,
Me
I'm talking
too.
to all of them. I think that when you add the tremendous stimulus that we're giving, like for instance, deductibility for restaurant expenses for
They haven't done that.
restaurants and entertainment.
Has nothing to do with the question.
The money that we're talking about for small businesses and employees to keep everybody working, and
Off
other
rails.
things that we're frankly working on right now, which are gonna be great for our people. I think when you add that to it, I think we could get more than back to normal from an economic standpoint, actually be better, but more than back to normal. But I would agree that we'd love to see a vaccine, but immediately would love to see a therapeutic.
Right.
And I think we're getting very close.
Do you think you'd be able to lift restrictions on April 30th right now?
I don't want to comment on that, but I can tell you that we certainly want to try, we certainly want to see what's going on. We're doing very well. Look, you look at most places where that, you can call it the bump, you can call it
I'm
the
guessing
hill,
at least May 15.
you call it whatever you want to do it, it's very flat. You take a look, and that was done through mitigation, that was done through a lot of good work. And that far exceeded our expectations before. I mean, people can't even believe how low some of those bumps are, some of those hills are. They're very surprised. They have a couple of tough ones. New Jersey's been very tough, and New York has been very tough. They're crowded in, it's tight, it's tougher. But we far exceeding, California far exceeds, Washington State far exceeds. You look at so many of these states, how well they're doing. The 8 states, by the way, and I haven't spoken to the governors, but Tony's so right. They may not
They
have
need
it,
an app. Yeah, you're
from
right,
the
Eric.
standpoint
That's
that they're saying
hilarious.
it, but those people are practicing it, and they're doing a fantastic job. Take a look at where they are.
Notice we're 5 layers away from the question.
But take a look where
course
they
we
are.
are.
So, but if
Good
I
observation,
thought
Dave.
it was something that, and I've looked at them very carefully. I looked at them today, looked at them yesterday. From a constitutional standpoint, I'd love not to get involved with that. And not from a legal standpoint, just from a moral constitutional standpoint. Because legally, I can. But morally, I believe in our Constitution much more so than most people.
Untrue.
And I'd love to be able to let the governors do what they have to do. Those states are doing a fantastic job, all 8 of them. They're doing a fantastic job. So we'll see what happens. As for your question, you fully understand what I'm saying, so thank you. Yes, please.
Hi, I have 2 questions if I may, one from somebody outside the room. But first, Castigan, do you think Boris Johnson, when he talked about shaking hands with hospital patients, did he downplay the threat of this virus too much? And do you know exactly what his current
Well, I think
thinking is?
Boris was looking at it differently. He was looking at it earlier. He was looking at it like ride it out. There were many people thinking about riding it out, meaning,
Let it
whatever
rip.
it is. But then you see what starts to happen, and the numbers become monumental, and they decide not to do that. We actually moved early. We moved early because of what we did with respect to the ban on China coming in, and then Europe coming in. That was an early ban too, and then UK. No, he waited a little while and he felt that, but he got, he made a decision very quickly thereafter to do what they did, and they've gone to a very strict lockdown, but they're suffering greatly.
Question was about shaking hands with people in hospitals.
No, they're a nation that's having a difficult time, but I've gotten to know him. He's just such an incredible guy. It was just so shocking to see that, because you know what that means. Intensive care is a big deal with regard to what we're talking about. That's a very big deal, very scary deal. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Just somebody who can't be in the room due to social distancing has asked me to ask a question. It's Thomas Howell of the Washington Times. How many health workers in the US have become infected with COVID-19? And if the answer is not known, will the CDC be publishing that data?
Yeah, I could give you that information. I think they'd probably be willing to give that, right? Yeah, we could get you that information. Jeff, please.
Mr. President, OPEC is meeting on Thursday, and they have said that they are willing to make a cut in production if the U.S. chips in as well, which suggests that they want you to ask U.S. producers to do.
Well, you're the first one that's told me that. I don't know. We'll have to make that decision. And maybe we will, maybe we won't, but we'll have to make that decision. I think the cuts are automatic. If you're a believer in markets, I can guarantee you there's a cut from pre this condition. Look, this happened because of the virus. The virus knocked out 40%. It went down in 1 hour. I mean, literally, when places closed up, you're talking about a 40% cut. No, I think it's happening automatically, but nobody's asked me that question yet, so we'll see what happens. I'll let you know Thursday evening.
All right, that's the deal. But you would consider asking U.S. companies to.
Well, I think it's automatic, because they're already cutting. I mean, if you look, they're cutting back, because it's market, it's demand, it's supply and demand. They're already cutting back, and they're cutting back very seriously.
But if OPEC is asking for a signal from
Well,
the
nobody's
US,
asked me that, so if they ask me, I'll make a decision. Okay, but again, it's happening anyway. Yes, please.
In light of all the discussion about Prime Minister Johnson and his health, can you update us on the status of the second half of your physical that you were going to have this year?
So I had a physical. The first half was very successful. I did it on a day when I was in the White House, and we were able to do that, as the doctor reported. And I have the second half of the physical different. Probably is done at Walter Reed, and I'll do that at the appropriate time, but I feel very good, and according to the doctor, very good shape.
Can you imagine?
Can I just ask you again on the idea of a national stay-at-home recommendation? What is giving you so much pause about making a recommendation?
I told you. He understood very well. I appreciate your understanding.
It's not an order,
It's called
just
the
a
Constitution of the United States, and I'd rather have, if possible, for the governors to make the decision. If a decision was very necessary,
Just a
and they have done a good job, and Tony said it better than anybody, they are doing what we're asking them to do without having to put the seal on it. But I will say, if I thought it was necessary, I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Do you agree with the Georgia governor opening the beaches?
Opening what?
The beaches?
I haven't seen. I'm gonna have to see to what extent. I'm gonna have to see how many people you're talking about.
A lot.
Are they crowded? Are they packed? Are they not packed? We'll have to take a look at it. Right now, it's very early for beaches in Georgia. So it's right now very early, so I'll take a look at it. He's done a very good job as the governor. He knows what he's doing.
That's a lot.
That's
really
a lot.
does depend on.
Tim Black told me, him and I are texting right now on Twitter. He just told me that I sent him the wrong size hoodie. I sent him a fucking XL instead of a 2XL. Oh my God.
Spots, is that something that's still on the table, and at what point?
We're looking at it, and the airlines have been cutting their routes. You saw that yesterday. They announced big cuts in routes. We need some flights for emergency use for military people. We need some flights for medical people, and there are very few flights, as you know. And the flights that are going out are, I think they said they're 3 to 4% full.
Wow.
You have 3% of the plane that's occupied, so it's they're very generally very empty planes. But it's good to have. It's a tiny amount of flights relative to the overall, and we need them also for medical workers. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a whole big thing with our own planes. So
this is true. To shut down every commercial flight actually can create more problems.
Those planes, and also when people get off the planes.
If I can follow up on this question of the HHS Inspector General. And by the way, her name was Christy Grimm, and it wasn't so much her opinion, but they interviewed 323 different
Well, it
hospitals.
still could be her opinion. When was she appointed? When was she appointed?
I'm not sure when she was
Will you do me a
appointed.
favor? Let me know.
I'll check.
No, let me know now. I have to know now, John. Let me know now. Because we are doing an incredible job in testing. We are doing a better job than anybody in the world right now in testing. There's nobody close. And other nations admit this. Other nations have admitted it very strongly. Other nations are calling us, wanting to know about our testing. Let me know when she was appointed, would you?
Specifically,
Go ahead,
what
please.
she was saying was that there's been a delay in the.
Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Only last week, there were multiple flights coming from China full of medical supplies.
Yes.
Companies like Huawei and Alibaba has been donating to
Right.
the United States
People
like
I know very well.
1.5 million N95 masks and also a lot of medical gloves and much more medical supplies.
Sounds like a statement more than a question.
And Chinese ambassador Cui Tiankai last night wrote an op-ed on New York Times calling to cooperation with the United States. So are you personally working directly with China?
We just signed a trade deal.
So fighting with the
It's the
virus?
biggest deal probably ever made. And I hope they're gonna honor that trade deal.
Right.
If they don't honor the trade deal, then I'll tell you a different answer, but I think they will. They're gonna spend billions of dollars for agriculture. They're gonna spend billions of dollars for many different
This
things.
has gotta mean
Whereas
something.
China never
Medical
spent money
supplies.
in our country. We spend money. We had a deficit, a trade deficit with China for years of $500 billion, $400 billion. We had the biggest trade deficits in the history of the world with China. Now China's gonna spend a lot, has agreed to spend 250 billion, many billions of dollars in our country.
Not an answer.
Much of it going to farmers and manufacturers. So I'll let you know. I mean, I hope they're gonna honor the deal. We'll find
With
out.
China, are you cooperating with
I don't know.
China?
Who are you working for, China? You work for
I'm
China or are
working
you with a
for
newspaper?
Hong
Who are you with?
Hong Kong Phoenix TV.
Who owns that, China? Is it owned by
based in
China?
Hong Kong.
No, is it owned by the state?
No, it's not, it's a private owned.
It's Hong Kong, dude.
Okay, good, okay. Look, I'll let you know, I'll give you a good answer to that in a few months. I want you
What a
to see what they
clown.
do.
He'll talk to her in a
Because
few
it's time
months
for them to
about it.
help us, okay? It's time right now for China to help us.
China.
And hopefully they do. And if they don't, that's okay too. But we signed a deal, it was signed with great goodwill and spirit.
He's got such tiny hands.
Esprit de
It's
corps.
time that
He's
our
got such
farmers
tiny little
benefited, our
hands.
manufacturers benefited.
Look at his little
And
hands.
we'll see whether or not that deal is honored. And I think it will be, because I know President Xi, who I like and respect.
Xi.
And I
Oh my
think he will
God, he's
honor
got
the deal
wax
he made
figure
with us.
little tiny
It just
G.I.
went into
Joe Kung
effect
Fu grip hands.
4 days ago. I will see whether or not.
He's
In
got
fact, I
little
called up
spider
just a
monkey
little while
hands.
ago. I said, how are the farmers doing with respect to China? Are they buying the product as anticipated?
It's creepy.
And the answer was, yeah, I think so, but it
Good.
wasn't the most positive, but it was starting, the deal just started. So, I'll let you know, but, you know, for many, many years, China ate our lunch because we had people in this position that I'm in right now that allowed China to get away with absolute murder. And it should have
I'm
never
calling that
happened.
blaming Obama.
But we are now dealing with China, we'll see what happens.
Mr. President,
Wait,
I'll tell you
how
when
many
she
do you
was
want,
appointed.
how many do you want to
So I
ask?
was gonna answer your question you asked me. She was appointed in January of this year to her current position as the principal deputy inspector
Okay,
general.
we're gonna take a look at it.
Is that an Obama appointment?
On the issue of,
He's-
on the issue of small business loans, sir, you said that businesses have applied for $40 billion in loans, but can you tell us how much of that money has actually gone out to the small
Beautiful
businesses?
I can't tell you, but I know it goes out very quickly once the loan application's approved, and the process is very fast. And you have to understand, these are banks, and that's what they do, but they were swamped. They were actually swamped. Okay, go ahead.
I know you don't want to talk about the Inspector General report, but testing is still a big issue in this country. When can hospitals
Put the
expect,
slide up again, please.
when can hospitals expect to receive a quick turnaround of
Are you
these
ready?
test results?
Are you ready?
There's Are You Ready?
Hospitals can do their own testing also. States can do their own testing.
Are you
States
ready?
are supposed to be doing testing. Hospitals are supposed to be doing testing. Do you understand that? We're the federal government, listen, we're the federal government. We're not supposed to stand on street corners doing testing. They go to doctors, they go to hospitals, they go to the state. The state is a more localized government. You have 50 of them. and they can go 50 within here. You also have territories, as you know, and they do the testing. And if you look at the chart, if you take a look, did they put it up? Yeah, just take a look.
I don't
These
think
are-
we can say Trump's visibly sweating yet, but that upper lip is starting to gloss a little bit. So keep an eye on that because that is a bingo square.
And not really prepared. We have a brand new testing system that we developed very quickly, and that's your result. And you should say
And that's your
congratulations,
result.
great job, instead of being so horrid in the way you ask a question. Please, go ahead.
So horrid in the way you ask a question.
I'd love to have the Admiral speak to that question, yes, go ahead.
So I can talk a little bit more about testing later on, but as the president said, 1.79 million tests have
If you
been
close
done.
your eyes, this guy sounds a lot like Glenn Greenwald.
Hundreds of thousands of tests that are done within hospitals that are now currently not reporting, so I'm sure we're well over 2 million. That Inspector General report was done here, 23rd, 24th, during our ramp-up period. Quite a long time ago. There was clearly, and it's hard to interpret the report because it mixes up all kinds of things, but clearly there was complaints by some hospitals of a backlog, probably at
Hey
St.
guys, what the hell is Dr. Burks doing?
True.
Well,
There was
exactly.
several
Why is she
days
back
of
there?
backlog at some of the
So
major
weird.
labs that have been taken care of. We
Violating
know
the
now that the
6-foot
ACLA labs now have a 24 to 48 hour
clown
turnaround.
bitch.
They're doing well over 100,000 tests a day. We now have the Abbott machine that's point of care. That's 18,000 of those instruments throughout the country. The Cepheid machine is now all across the country with a 45-minute turnaround. We have worked directly with many of the hospitals that have their own laboratory-derived tests. Some of those, really quite frankly, didn't understand the regulatory freedom they have to use other different kinds of instruments or different kinds of reagents.
I'm a
So,
little bit delayed on my Morse code, but did Dr. Burks just blink torture in Morse code?
Everything is clear. You have a 24-hour call number. But that's what it was there for. And I don't know the Inspector General, I don't know that person. I tell you one thing I have a problem with. If there was such a problem that she knew about or he knew about on March 23rd and 24th, why did I find out about the tests from them on the news media at 8 o'clock this morning? If there was a problem, I think you're ethically obliged to tell me where that is so we can interact with it like I do every single day. But that's a discussion for the future. I think testing is really in a good position right now, and I'd be happy to expand on some of the really good tests that are coming up.
How long has that person been in government?
Did serve in the previous administration.
Oh, you didn't tell me that, oh, I see. You didn't tell me that, John. You didn't tell me that, did serve in the previous you mean the Obama administration. Thank you for telling me that. See, there's a typical fake news deal.
You
Now,
asked me when
look,
she was
look.
appointed. I told you when she was appointed.
You're a
by your
third-rate
administration.
reporter, and what you just said is a disgrace, okay? You asked me, you said, sir,
He's gotta say you can be ashamed of yourself.
take a look at what you said. Now, I said, when did this person, how long in government? Well, it was appointed in the Obama administration. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much. You will never make it. Go ahead.
On the ventilators.
You'll never
it's,
make
uh,
it.
for Admiral Jawar,
He's
but
in the goddamn
can you tell
Oval
us
Office.
today how
He's in the
many
fucking
ventilators are in the federal
presser, man, with
stockpile?
the President of the United States.
I'm
Yeah, I
not
think
gonna
he's
tell you how
made
many
it.
are in the stockpile, but I can tell you that we look at ventilator use granularly
Oh my
every single
God.
day in every single state and down to the hospital level.
Trigger.
So we have been able to meet and easily
It's
meet
comical.
all the ventilator requirements that have been brought to us by the state. No one has not gotten a ventilator that needs a ventilator. And as far as we can project, looking at all models, every person who needs a ventilator will get a ventilator. I'm a ventilator doc, right? I'm an ICU physician for children.
Was that the SIR
Spent
routine? I
every
missed
day
it
of
if
my
you
life
did the
managing
SIR
people on
routine.
ventilators. This is my community. It's also the Surgeon General's community as an anesthesiologist. So what we have in the stockpile, I think, is not a number that we give out, but we have thousands remaining in the stockpile. And now you're seeing out of the appropriate American spirit that when a state
let me
like
do that then.
Washington or California doesn't need that ventilator, they're doing the right thing by moving them around the
It's
country.
about 9,000, just so you understand. About 9,000. And by the way, you didn't tell me also that this Inspector General came out of the Obama administration. You didn't tell me that either. Okay, please, go ahead. You didn't, go ahead.
I'm looking, sir, just quickly here, I'm looking at this Inspector General's bio. She appears to have served in government since 1999, but I was hoping to ask you about your call with former Vice President Joe Biden. Is there something that you learned on that phone call, and has that changed your
No, I understood his views before the call.
opinion about speaking to people?
I just think he's very nice. I think he's a nice man. I've always thought he was a nice man. I don't know him. I don't know if I ever spoke to him before, other than to say hello.
Can you imagine, has been in government 21 years and it's somehow Obama's fault?
Cool.
You want to seek now the counsel of some of your predecessors, George Bush?
No, but we
Barack
may,
Obama.
no, not really. We're doing a great job. Hey, I inherited, this administration, we inherited a broken system, both militarily, where we've rebuilt our military, where we now have so much ammunition, whereas you remember, a very important general said, sir, we have no ammunition. They
There's
want
the
to
sir
save
routine
money
for sure,
on
okay.
ammunition. They didn't want to save money, because they spent money like nobody ever spent money. But you know what? We now have a great military rebuilt, and we have so much ammunition, we don't know what to do with it.
Man, he's really unhinged
That's
today.
a nice feeling to have.
Triggered.
But they also gave us empty cupboards. The cupboard was bare. You've heard the expression, the cupboard was bare.
Just heard it
So
now.
we took over a stockpile where the cupboard was bare, and where the testing system was broken and old, and we redid it. And frankly, it would be okay for a small event, but not for a big event. And they had a chance to do it. Somebody said that a certain person, I won't tell you, but a certain person said this will happen. And that's true. The problem is that person never did anything about
He's
it.
talking about Bill
Previous
Gates?
administrations, in previous,
Who's he
they
talking
never
about?
did anything about it. You know, we all know all about pandemics and all of the things that we're seeing now, but nobody thought it was going to happen. And if we did think it was going to happen, the problem is nobody did anything about
I
it. We
think
did.
that
We have
is-
rebuilt the system, and now we're a fine-tuned machine. We built thousands of hotel beds for
I
New
know, I
York.
know.
We moved a ship in that now we're going to make for COVID-19. We are going to make it so that people having this horrible thing happen to them will be able to use the ship. The ship, as I said, is going to be shared with New Jersey, New York and New Jersey. We've done things that are incredible. When you build, 18 hospitals? We built 18 hospitals. We built medical centers all over the country. And when you have Gavin Newsom and other governors who really have been very nice and generous in their statements, because they make the statements to the press, not just to my face. Others tell us
Not
how
just
great
to my
we're doing.
face.
Like the call that Mike had today. I heard from other people who were on the call. He said it was incredible. It was 2 hours, and everything was positive. They were so happy with what we've done. And we're ready to do more if they need it, because we're ready to march. The Admiral can tell you, we are sitting there with 9,000 ventilators, and we're ready to march. He'll say, why don't you put a military man in charge? Military man? I have all military men. This man is doing an incredible job. We have 2 admirals, numerous generals. We have the Army Corps of Engineers. We have FEMA. We have this whole force that like
Kathy.
nobody's ever seen before. We have a great military operation, and they've done an incredible job.
They got to pull him off.
And honestly, people should respect, because nobody's ever seen anything like what we've done. And what they end up with, forget about me, don't worry about me.
That's on here. Yep,
Forget
like
it.
you've never seen
I will
before.
only
That
get
counts.
bad.
That
If I
counts.
say, how many ventilators do you
That's
need,
the
Governor?
gist.
1,000 would be great. I said, nope, I'm gonna send you 10,000. And then
No
you'll call
difference.
up from the media. You'll say, how did Trump do? We're not happy, he didn't send us enough ventilators. Because that's called politics. But if you look at what's happening,
He's got very small hands.
and I'm even surprised. The governors are saying all good things, but the Democrat governors, and a couple of rhinos, frankly, they're rhinos, that's all they are, one rhino in particular. But the governors are saying great things. He had a call that lasted 2 hours today.
Perfect,
I
beautiful
heard
call.
about the call, not just from Mike. It was a perfect call. Now, I'm
There
sure
it is.
you were on the call, even though you're not supposed to be. I'm sure you were on the
Perfect
call,
call.
meaning some of the media was on the call, because they're constantly reporting the call. If they're honest, they will say it was a great call. Okay, okay, next question, please.
Thank
Here we
you,
go.
sir. So,
Here we
you
go.
didn't mention the hospitals that were built in New Orleans and Dallas today, but you've mentioned them a number of times previously. There seems to be some concern in Texas that they might lose the hospital in Dallas if it's not
We're never
used.
gonna do anything that
If
hurts
it's not
Texas.
used yet.
We're only helping Texas. By the way, the governor's doing a great job over there with this situation. And Texas is so big, you have some parts of the state that are affected, other at all. You know, it's an incredible.
You guys, I will see you at 7 p.m. tonight or so, and we'll be watching Tim Black together. He's going to be promoting Trendy Pain Oil. Make sure you tune back into the show, okay? Enjoy your 420s. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, I believe. His show is at 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast, I believe. All right, you guys. Trendy As Dowers at Twitter. Look for you guys there on Twitter, guys. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.